Hi everyone. I'm going to show you how to do the graphical user interface on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Rocky Linux, and Linux Ubuntu. And so previously I showed you how to do something on the three platform, which was Power On, the three platform Red Hat, Linux, and Linux Ubuntu, as well as we showed you on the first one, we showed you how to do power on, OS version, and log out, log off. So let me go through a slideshow so you can see the detail of it. On the first video that we have already posted on our website, we covered how to power on operating system version, get the information on the operating system version, how to log out, and how to power off, both on a Red Hat Enterprise and a Linux Ubuntu. And then on the second video, we showed you how to install Rocky as a virtual machine. And that was the title of the video number 2, installation of Rocky Linux. So on video number 3, I'm going to show you the graphical user interface, which is GUI, we call it. And then the graphical user interface is covered on 3 different platforms. The first 2 platforms are Red Hat and Rocky Linux, which are similar distribution like Red Hat. Red Hat is the redhat.com now is owned by IBM, and Rocky is the replacement for CentOS, the community enterprise edition of operating system. And Rocky version that we installed on version on video number 2. And then we also covered the Debian version of Linux Ubuntu. In fact, the Rocky Linux is also based on Debian OS. So we're going to just cover video number 3 on this session, which is the graphical user interface. And then on the future videos, we're going to cover video number 4, the terminal interface. I'm going to show you as a summary of some of the more videos that are going to come next. But please make sure you subscribe so I can see a reason that I could make all these videos, and then it's going to help you. Video number 5 would be the host name details, all the information about the host name I'm going to provide you. And then video number 6 is user accounts and group accounts, groups details. All of that information will be discussed on these platforms, whether it's Red Hat or Rocky or Ubuntu. And then video number 7, the kernel of the Linux operating system, as well as the shells. I have a lot of videos already on these topics, but you're welcome to just watch those one, as well as the videos that are going to be giving you some sort of summary for them as well. And then video number 8 is the file system, the Linux file system. And video number 9 would be the package manager. The package manager, in the case of Red Hat and Rocky Linux and Ubuntu, they're different. So some of them we are using maybe DNF and yum, and the other one we are using apt and apt-get. So we will discuss those ones when they are different on the platforms that we have to cover. And then for Linux how-tos, we also discuss shell scripting. I have a lot of videos again on the shell scripting, as well as Python, C++, and other ones, but we are welcome to just watch all of these. And then we are going to discuss compilers, and in particular, the GNU C collection compilers and the GNU C++ collection compilers, and then the interpreters such as Perl, Python, and JavaScript and Go language and all other ones that are interpreter. And then we're going to discuss those one, the apps, all the apps that you could install as applications and utilities. All of those ones will be discussed on video number 12. And then video number 13 is web servers. In particular, we're gonna cover Apache web server. I have a lot of videos on Apache built from source code, as well as installation of Apache already on the website. So we will discuss it on these three platforms with demos and examples. You're welcome to watch it. Video number 14 is about the database. And on the database, we are going to discuss client-server architecture. So on the server side, we talk about MySQL D, and then on the client side, MySQL client, as well as SQL Bench and Workbench, and then MySQL clients, and then what else we have there? We have a number of them. For example, MySQL Shell has a lot of tools for Python, for JavaScript, and for MySQL itself that we could discuss those ones. And I do have some videos already posted there. You're welcome to watch them. And then the last one, video number 15, would be system automation. With system automation, there's a lot of technique that you could use as a system administrator and to do your system maintenance and monitoring and all the activity that is happening on a daily basis, how you cron job them or how to back up the system, how to maintain the system, how to monitor it, how to automate it. So you can just take care of thousands of servers at the same time with the help of automation and scripting or programming that you can automate it, so you don't have to just be sitting in front of the computer all the time, and your code could do a lot of the cleanup for you. Okay, so we're going to discuss all of that, but for the video number 3 today, we're discussing the graphical user interface, which is the GUI here. So this is the video number 3 that I'm going to cover: RedHat, Rocky Linux, and Linux Ubuntu. So let me just minimize this window. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please make sure you subscribe. This is the video number 1 and video number 2 that we posted last time. And there's a lot of other videos, like I was telling you, about MySQL Shell, MySQL Bash scripting, secure MySQL, and then RedHat from zero to hero. All of those videos, Python, IPython, Jupyter Lab, everything is there. C, C++. There's a lot of videos that you can just practice. Even PDF documentation, thousands of online manual pages, and everything is already there. Please subscribe to our channel and make sure that you make some nice comments about how we can improve it so we can fulfill your needs. That's all my job here. I'm not here to just lecture you. I'm here to help you out. I hope you do succeed. You will be a successful student if you're working in a company. You will be a successful employee. Okay, so let's get started with the first one, which I'm going to boot this algorithm host name, which is a Red Hat Linux Enterprise version 9. So I'm going to just click on the start. I'm on a virtual machine. It comes out with powering on the virtual machine notification. On the right side, you can see every time on the system, whatever it does, it gives you a notification. So it says mouse integration is done. I check all of that. And then it is going to just drop to this interface. This interface, we call it graphical user interface, as you can see there. And it has a lot of other options for accessibility, for setting network, and then for sounds, or maybe your internet and everything else. This is for internet, and then this is for if you want to power it off or log out off there. If you are connected, wirelessly connected there, the sounds is there. All of that information is there, and the accounts that you're connecting here. It just says this is Wahidullah is one account, and Murtaza Ali, my son, is the second account. The other account that are not listed, you can click here and maybe log in as root. If you set it up to allow root login at the console, you can log in and do that one. But mostly when you do it through system automation and other ones, later on you learn how to just make the system in a way that if you have to bring it up to a run level 1 or single user mode, so you can change the password or create an account, you could do that one. But at this time, the system is waiting for me to log in. So I'm going to log in here as Wahidullah, or Wahid is the user ID. So I'm going to type in the password. The password, login and password combination, what you type in here as a username, and then this is prompting me for the password, and then the logo RedHat is showing here. You also have the setting that you can just say how you want to display, change it. As you can see, the standard Wayland display server is currently selected. I can also go to GNOME Classic or GNOME Classic on Xorg stuff, or customize it, the standard X11 display server, user, all of these ones are also option for the Rocky version. So I'm going to choose the one standard here, and I go just say, go ahead, click on it and start there. So at this time it booted. I'm gonna pause it for a second. So at this time, you can see that it is I'm logged on the system. And then right here, it has Firefox and has other file managers, and then the software update and help, and then terminal, and then show application. So each one of these icons that I click, basically it gives me some of the software that I want to see. For example, if I click on Firefox, it opens Firefox. If I click on files, basically it opens a file manager. And on the file manager, similarly, the way you do it on the command line, you can just, this is like the same thing as file manager of Windows, that kind of things. So if you have something directed on the programs here, you could just go on the programs, and then I see the shell script. If I double click on the text file, it opened the text file. If I open the demo2, the shell script, every file that you just go based on that one. Like if I go on the JavaScript directory, that's there. And once I open a demo.html, this one, it will actually open Firefox. Or I could go to Firefox and then just say on the application tools here, and just say Firefox, and then start Firefox, and then open the file that I want to open with Firefox here. So that the options are here limited and unlimited, that whatever you can do with these tools, like open another tab, go to let's say visit google.com. And if you say, well, this is good, and I want to just do something with it, you can just go here again, mywebuniversity.com, and any URL that you open it is option is there. And then at the same time, if I just close this one and I say, well, let's go through the file manager, and say the file manager, we had opened this one, and then we went through the document, I believe it was, yeah, programs, and then JavaScript. So if I open, let's say, for example, for demo 1 or for demo 2, one of them, when I click on it, it just opens the JavaScript for demo, which is showing you how to use a for demo program. And then it prints the number 1 through 10. So this is JavaScript, but I will have other videos that I'm going to show you this. So you can see that when I double click on these ones, automatically it opens up the Firefox and show me the HTML version of it. Similarly, if I just right click here, say open a terminal, now I'm on that directory of JavaScript. So I could just type in commands, and notice the GUI is really nice. So if I run top here, and then you see GNOME option that is there, gnome terminal is the one that I'm running. So if I just resize this one, and a gnome terminal is this terminal that you do. So if I quit out of the here and say ps minus ef grep minus I gnome dash terminal, I could see that the terminals that is open there. So a lot of the commands that are optionally written here, at the same time you can just do it from the other directory, like here. Remember that I went to the shells here. So if I do clear screen, let me just make the size bigger. I do shift control plus, and then now the size is bigger, and I can move this window here and do a pwd print working directory ls and see the files. So cat minus n demo1.sh is a shell script. And then all it does is says run the bash interpreter with env binary and make it a bash script, and then write the simple sentence. This is a simple demo test. So how do I run it? Demo1.sh, like that. Because the file is demo1.sh, already has the permission executable bit is set, then the color is right here showing, and then dot slash showing that one. If I want to see, for example, the line by line, every line that it runs, I say bash minus x, and then it just says, okay, the first line that I ran was this command, and the output was this command. So you could just update whatever you want on the shell script here. And if at this level, if I'm done with this one, I exit out, now I'm back on the GUI here. I can just do whatever I want to do with the GUI. If I want to open a new directory, just say new directory, say new dir1, I just created the new dir1. If I just say rename that one or do those options, it's all there. You see copy, and then I just paste it here. And so now this is made a copy of it. And if I want to rename it, I just right click here, say click on rename, say new dir1 copy. Whatever name you name it there. If I want to delete it, I just right click on it and then say delete. It should be somewhere here. And let me see, move to trash. And then when you click move to trash, it's gone. Similarly, this one, right click, move to trash, it is gone. I don't need those directories there. If I just create a directory called new dir1 here, now on this one, if I want to cd to that directory, then I right click here, say, okay, now I'm on that directory, new dir1. If I say touch this, now the file this got created. But this does not have any content in it. So if I just say here, look at this file is empty. And since it's empty, when I double click, it's just showing it as this. If this is graphical interface. So on this, at the same token, if I go back here on the terminal, alternate tab will just show me where I am. So I say, okay, that file is there. Now I say echo, and this is a test. And then I'm going to send that one to greater file this. Now, if I do this, the content of that file is written with this is a test. So cat minus n this, it will just show that one line. So how about refreshing it here? If I just refresh it here and double click here, the file has this is a test and that information. And if I just add here, say, and this is a second line, I could do that one. And then as soon as I save it, and now the file contents is updated with both lines there. So whether you open it in the graphical interface or command line, and then the command line clear screen, ls minus l, cat minus n, now it has two lines. And then actually third line is empty. So then this, and then I come in on the third line, I delete it, and notice on the VI improved, I could just say set a number, and it has 2 lines. So if I say WQ, quit, write and quit with bang for sure, and now I say that cat minus n, it should show 2 line only because I modified it. But if I just go add again, and then notice that here also, if I double click on it, open it, it's 2 line only. So whenever you make update on it, notice that if I just say, well, let's just write the content of the directory to the end of that file. So clear the screen. Now cat minus n, this has those, but now I also want to get the output of that information to the end of it. So if I say ls minus l double greater sign this, now cat minus n this, it is just in addition to the above 2 lines that was right here, I added concatenated the output of this command, ls minus l, to the end of it, which is this. That was line 3 and 4 was added. So there's a lot of things you can do it from the terminal as well as the graphical interface. Since this directory doesn't have to be there with including the files, I could say move to trash from here. The directory and subdirectory both were deleted. Later on, I'm going to show you an option of rm minus rf. Let me just show you that one. So if I just click here and say on the command line, if I just say make directory new dir1, and then go to new dir1 and just touch this. Now I just create the file this, and then if I go here back from the command line, what I did earlier on the graphic report, I right click and say remove the trash. It did not tell me that directory is not empty, because it knows that I wanted to delete that directory with its subdirectories. So I'm gonna say on dir new dir1, and it's gonna say directory is not empty. The reason is because the content of new touch is on this file directory. I mean, touch this, that file that we touched called this, even though it's 0 byte, but it's a file. So in order to just delete that one, I could do rm minus rf and new dir1. That would just delete that directory as well as the content of it. And then in addition, you can do rm dir slash s for subdirectories, and it will delete it that way as well. So there's a lot of option on the graphical user interface and command lines. And this is your file manager. We showed you some of the options. At the same time, on the activity, you have this. When you click on it, you get the Firefox, which we showed you, file manager, which we showed you, the software update. So you can do software update 2 ways. You can browse and go through whatever software you want to add, explore it under installing some new software here, whether it's development or play for games or work or create or socialize, whatever code you want. There's a lot of different apps available for you. You can select it here. For example, if you go under the learn, you can just see what is available to you, that you can just do it, and what is available on the games, you can do it. So whatever is available, you can just install it. And then what is already installed on your system, if you click on the install tab, you see cheese and disk usage and document viewers, Firefox. All of these ones are gedit, GNOME calculator. So if you just want to use a calculator, you open this one, calculator. But this is the software that's already on your system, all the tools that are there. And terminals, we just opened terminal a few times. Videos, you want to do help getting the information. There's a lot of software that is available. But what is more important is that how you keep your system up to date. So the updates here is like Windows updates, that every time you want to do update, Sometimes you may have to restart the update, or sometimes you just have to reboot the system, and then making sure that your system is up to date. The OS update, and you can see that the last update that it runs, or what was the versions that was built there, you can check on that one. Firefox update is showing you the Firefox version there. And in addition to the updates here that you have, you also have a DNF and YUM. YUM is the symbolic link to DNF-3, and DNF is also symbolic link to DNF-3, but they're all kind of working interchangeably. So you can use whichever one, especially on RedHat version 9 and Rocky version 9, you can use DNF, and that's already upward compatible to DNF rather than using the YUM, which is YUM is actually upward compatible. DNF is DNF or DNF3. So that one we can do those options on the GUI. And then also when you click here, you have also this show application. Show application is basically giving you a lot of the videos that you have there. Let me just go on click on this one, and then here the option of show application, you can see for each one of them, like if you want to get a tour of the one, it will just guide you in step by step, which I'm not interested in that one. If you are, please go through that. And then there's like opening calculator, obviously opens a calculator. A lot of the things that is on the GUI is like Windows. Whatever it says, like if you want system monitor, you just run this one. Utilities, you run this one. But subsequent videos, when I make it, I'm going to show you these options. Another very useful thing is help. It's like the man pages, similar to man pages on the command line. This is help that is interactive based on the content that you just do, and then you get help on it. And then the next thing is that is available to you here is under terminal. So when you click here, you get a terminal. So in the terminal, you can also find out information about your system, OS release, and you can also say man PWD, for example, manual pages. So Control plus, Control Shift plus, and then you can say man who command. Any command that you're searching, you could say man minus S3 scanf for standard IO scanf function. So or section 3 of printf function. So you can get all of these details. Man Python 3, for example. And anything that you do, man GCC. If the GCC manual is not installed, obviously you have to install it, and those ones are going to be in subsequent video. The one I'm talking about, video number, whatever it is, whether it's the compiler for the GCC or the G++, I'll discuss those ones there. And then the Python, for example, version, if you see the Python version, what is installed already is 3.9 GCC. Since it's not installed, you could see that it is prompting you basically. And it has the package manager says that, well, it is not installed. Do you want to install it? If you just say, yeah, go ahead and install it, it will just go through sudo prompting you, saying that you don't have sudo. Do you want to run it with sudo, or you want to run it with a regular user? So now it's going to try to install it. And then it is, at that time, you can do manual pages or get the GCC version, similar with G++ and other ones, all options there. Merchant developer, copying this. Let's see, clear which and GCC. Now GCC is installed. You can see man pages works, and then say GCC dash version. Sorry, yeah, it shows you that. But G++ dash version might not show up. And again, it is going to say, do you want to install it? I'm going to say, go ahead, install it and proceed with the change. And now, similarly, it's going to do that. If you're on Red Hat, you can do DNF install GCC or DNF update GCC. Those commands are already there, and then, but it is a very nice way that this one is detecting that the software is not installed, and it's going to install it for you. Then now you say which G++, it is installed, man G++, it shows up, and then clear the screen, and G++ dash version is there. So you can write code in C++ also. So on the GUI interface, you can also right here open up a terminal like that, and you could just type in and just do this one. Or you could just type in on the here, you could just say extern and then open an extern window. And then extern, notice it's not installed. So the file manager says, you want to install it? I can install it from the GUI also, like this. Now it is installed, and you can just open it, and it opens an extern. You can also, just now since it's installed, if I just type in extern this time, it opens it right away. And if I just want a different color or different background, obviously the options are here. You can say extern, let's say extern minus background dark blue, and it will just open a dark blue. But if I just say extern minus background dark blue minus foreground white minus font faces New York, and minus font size is going to be 20 characters. And then I run this one now, it's a big one. It shows up with a nice font. And if I just didn't like it, it was too big, I can just change this one to 17 maybe, and now it looks better. And then we say that is good, and then unit minus A. You can see however you want, these tools are available for you. So if you say the dark blue, let me just say change it to pound 0035 for dark green, and then we do that one, and it changes that color. And if you wanted another color like a red, green, blue, let's just make it red. 30 for dark red. Dark red would be that, and just open that in a dark red. So your options are very much a lot on the graphical interface as well as command line. So if somebody tells you Linux is not user-friendly, that is not true anymore. Linux and Unix are user-friendly. They have graphical user interface. And they also have a graphical user interface, as well as the terminal. And the terminal is very friendly. It opens up graphical content as well. And then just type in terminal here and just open it. And from here, you can just type in, like for example, which GNOME dash calculator. And then if I just say GNOME calculator is there, if I want to open a calculator from command line, I just type in GNOME calculator. Since that is there, it is there. Or a GNOME dash font viewer. So all of the binaries that are there, it does for you in graphic interface. How do you know a list of them? Very easy. You just say list minus L user bin and GNOME something. So GNOME star, it will show you a lot of the binaries that are there. GNOME tour, for example, it will open the GNOME tour to give you a tour, like we were just looking at it earlier. On this one, you can just, as you go through them, you see all of the options. If you could go on previous, you could just keep going through that. Okay. So this is the next button is just taking you there. And then at the same time, if you just do alternate tab, you're on the calculator. If you want to just close this one, you're welcome to close it. If you want to run something else, then you just run those there. No dash software also opens the software that we showed you. Now what is installed already. If you just click on Firefox, you have option of opening it or and deleting it and uninstall from the command line. Similarly for files, everything there. And if you want to use it, you just open it. So that is the graphical user interface. And I'm going to exit out of this one. For this, I'm going to log out. Say log out here. And then after you log out, you have to power off the machine. So power off the machine is right here, option here. You could also do shutdown, but you could also click on the virtual machine power off, and this will just power off the machine. So the subject that when they say Unix is and Linux are not user friendly like Windows, it is not true anymore. As I mentioned, they are very friendly, and they also choose their best friends. Once you learn them, then you become their best friend. So that's what this is all about. And this thing, if it takes too long here to power it off, you could just say power off here, and it will just power it off, and now it's power off there. Because we were not running any database or anything, I don't need to worry about it. I could just power it off like that. And then next time I start, it will start. So similar to algorithm, which was Red Hat, we also have a Rocky version of this. And Rocky is also a graphical user interface. You can see that one. I'm going to show you a quick view of Rocky because it's very much like a Red Hat. It is almost as if it's another copy of it, but it's the Debian distribution, which means that it supports also apt commands, apt install and apt-get and other stuff, apt-cache and all of that. So I'm only having one command. Again, right here, you can see that the standard VLAN is there. You can also choose a GNOME, a classic, or this. The interface, when you choose it, based on the option that you choose, you will get a different interface. It's up to you. Whichever one you feel more comfortable, you can use those ones. So the standard is fine with me. I'm gonna use that one. And then again, the same option that were there in the background here that are available here. Notice on the activity, you have the same Firefox, you have file manager, you have software, and then help and terminal and application that are shown here. So if you click on the Firefox opens. And if you just go here and say, open a terminal, click on terminal, terminal comes in. On the Firefox, by default, it goes to Rocky Linux. You can say, go to redhat.com. Here, you can get to Red Hat. Go to mywebuniversity.com, and then it will take you to a secure page of mywebuniversity.com. So you can also go to, for example, our YouTube channel, YouTube. If I type in HTTPS and or just type in youtube.com/@mywebuniversity. That's our handle. Automatically, we're telling it to go to our channel. So it takes to YouTube, and this is our channel. And then the color theme is white here. We're on the browser here. On the Windows, it's dark. So that is up to you how you want to see them. So if I just go back here on this and I say, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to just close this one, and I don't need Firefox anymore. I close it. And right here, you have these display setting, similar to the other one I didn't show you. You can change the background also to a different style. So if you like this color, you just change it, and now we have this background. How nice it is, how simple it is. Change background, and you just have these options here. Whichever one that shows you more interesting kind of views, you could just select it and it's there. Let's just change it to this other one. And what is, honestly, these options are better. I'm going to choose this one. See how this one was. This one was good, but I like the darker one, the black one that originally was selected in that color. Darker one, I like this one. So here you can also change that display setting to see if what size resolution you want. If you want a higher resolution, you change the number there. So let's change it to 1920 by 1080, and then we just say go apply this one. Now notice if I just say keep the change, it is very small. So if it meets your needs, and then a lot of these activity, you can see that the options are there, and it is the file manager is there, all the options that you click on under the activity, you could see the terminal. And then on the terminal, you always have a choice of making this one bigger. So you do Shift Control Plus, and now you say calendar command, sorry, clear the command, calendar command and date command, unit -a command, clear the screen, cat etc os dash release, and that is showing Rocky version and there. Even if you say cat etc RedHat dash release, it's a RedHat version, but it is a Rocky Linux release. So when I said it also used the package manager app. So here, if I just say, let's see, it's a Debian distribution or RedHat. So cat etc red os dash release, and it says Rocky Linux. It's based on Fedora CentOS, RedHat Fedora based. So it's actually using apt and DNF. I'm sorry, it is using YAM and DNF. So if I say YAM list, YAM is going to give me all the list of yellow doc update modified list, but which YAM is a symbolic link to DNF-3. So file user bin YAM, it is actually symbolic link to DNF3. Similarly, file DNF itself is symbolic link to DNF3. But DNF-3 is a binary file, a Python script file. And it's about 62 lines, I believe. Cat -n user bin DNF-3. Since it's an ASCII text file and it's Python script, I can look at the content. It's a 62-line file in there. That's DNF. And then DNF command list itself, you will see all the packages that are there. So if I say which GCC here, and GCC is not installed, I could do sudo DNF install GCC, and then provide my password here. And then I say, yeah, go ahead and install it. Now in the GCC and GNU-C collection compiler is getting installed. GCC -- version, it's already installed, and then which GCC is there. Similarly, which G++ that I showed you is not there. So I say DNF. I can say still yum install G++. What it does, it just, since it's a symbolic link, I have to be a sudo. That's why it says privilege. So it's symbolic link to DNF-3. It is going to call that one, and it's going to get the help now, which G++ is there. G++ -- version is there. And then on the compiler section and interpreter section, I'll show you how to compile a C code, C++, and how to run a Python interpreter. For example, Python 3 version, it is already installed 3.9. So if I go inside Python 3, I can say, give me a directory listing of what is already available, import, for example, math module, and say math.py, get the py, math dot square root of, let's say, 100, get that one 10, and math dot, let's say, square root of 100 plus math dot, actually plus 15, and that's 25, and then I could just say math dot square root of 25 is 5. So you can get that 5 because square root of 100 is 10, 10 plus 15 is 25, and square root of that one is 25. And if I just do this number, again, the multiplication numbers and everything, you can do on and everything. So this is not a Python class. I'm going to exit out of this and then just show you that Python can be run pip list. You can get a list of, if pip is not installed, it says go ahead and install it, and then I say I install it. Now the pip is available, which pip is there, and then pip list is going to show me all the packages that are there. We can do a lot with the command lines and a lot of things here. So on the display, if I change it back to show the display setting to a little bit smaller, here I could go back to a lower resolution that it was, and then say apply this one. Now I can see things bigger, and then say change it, and now it's right here. And then here, if I just click again on the option that you have, whether you open a terminal here, it's like, for example, type in terminal, it will just open a terminal, or just click on the terminal at the bottom here, that would open a terminal. If I want to open an Xterm, I just click on Xterm, type in Xterm here. And then if I just want a different color for Xterm or different font size, everything, I could do that, like I showed you earlier. And so the options here are very much similar to what we saw the other ones with the graphical interface. So I'm going to log out of this, and I'm going to say, go ahead, log out, and say yes, log out. Since I'm not running anything on the background, I'm going to just say power it off, and then it should power off the machine. And once it powers off, it just shows you here, it is powered off. The next graphical user interface that I want to show you is my Web University, which is the host for Linux Ubuntu. So I'm going to just go ahead, boot that one. These notifications I'm going to check out, and these are running as virtual machine. And notice the interface is a little bit different. So the Linux Ubuntu is a different distribution, which has, instead of DNF, it has apt for package manager, which I'm going to discuss those ones on subsequent videos that I make. You just have to subscribe to our channel and make show your interest on the topic that you want me to make videos, because I have made thousands of videos already, 1,000 or 100 something, and then I don't know if I fulfill any of your needs. So if you just specify exactly what do you want me to do, I could do it for you. And then notice here the interface is very nice, because I already customized the coloring scheme and everything, and I show you how you could do it then on your bash RC script, sorry, etc, sorry, it says tilde. So, and every user, when you go to a user directory here, by default, you have a list minus l dot bash or c. Since I'm using a get env password and Wahid, I'm using etc bash as my shell. So echo $shell, it says /bin bash, not etc bash. And then that /etc profile and tilde slash dot bash or c, or the two files that you can customize information on your bash or c scripts here. And then based on the shell, if you're using corn shell, obviously .kshrc. If you're using C shell, it's .cshrc, and so on. So if I'm coming on this directory here, ls minus la, you can see that it's there. But the object of this video is to show you graphical interface. So from here, if I say which Firefox, I can just say, okay, Firefox, I can double click here to open it, and then that will open Firefox for me here. Then I say, let's go to google.com, and then it will take me to google.com, and then do all the information that I want to do in there. Go to https and jet propulsion laboratory jpl.nasa.gov, and then it will take you to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory website. You can go wherever you want. This is a very nice rover. At the time when they were transferring it, it was just in front of the building that I used to work from when we were attending physically. I'm remote now, but that is the building there. It is really nice. So let me just go to other website. For example, if you go to oracle.com website, or just go to virtualbox org virtualbox. So you can go anywhere you want to go. Go to Python, the docs.python.org. So it takes me to the version 3 of this. Or just go to Python itself, python.org. So when you type in the URL, sometimes it port forward to HTTPS 443 secure page automatically, and so it takes you to wherever you want to go there. But notice that the interface is really nice. So if I close it here, I clicked it here, I could also type in Firefox here to open it there similarly. And then again, if I just want to say, go to python.org, it takes me there. And then if I just want to kill the process or something, I could do it here. I could also just say, go ahead, open here. I could say ps minus ef grep minus site Firefox, and you can see all the processes that are open. I could do a pkill Firefox, and then now Firefox is closed. So the interface that is there, there's no Firefox because I closed it with that pkill command, process kill. So here I open this terminals. If I just say, just do this, notice that when I did the pkill in Firefox, it just killed all the processes that were there. Similarly, if I just open a gnome-calculator, you can see that it's open here, and I'm going to move it on the side here. And then here, if I just resize this window, the terminal, and then I just say, let me just move it here, so you can see the calculator here. At the same time, I say ps minus efa grep minus site calculator. So now I see that the process that is open, and this is the known, this is the process ID for it. So if I say grep minus v grep, then I only see one process because my grep command, I grep out with the minus v option in there. So if I just want to say kill minus 9 and then 5598, I don't have to do a pkill on the GNOME dash calculator option. I could just kill it by the process ID there. But if I just wanted to open it again here, notice this one was killed. I can run it this time, and then this time, if I want to say do a p-kill, process kill, now you have to give a name of the process, which is GNOME calculator, and then that would do it. But p-kill by the default, it does a signal -15, meaning that it gives it a grace period to just terminate. So if I just say -9, it is going to force a -F actually. -F force it, and then calculator. Oh, and the name calculator I was mistyped. That's why it didn't do it that many times. So if I just do it the first time, run this one, and then on this one, I just say GNOME dash calculator. Notice that if I don't give this dash option of F, it still does not do it because I did not force it. It is like an option of signal 15. But when you do dash F, it says -9, and it does force it, okay? So you can have these options here. If I close these terminals here, and then notice that here I have Firefox, I have Thunderbirds, a file manager. So if I click on the file manager, similar options, I can go to Apache 2 directory and then HTTPD, whatever directory you want to see open. Here you can do a right click, say new open directory, say new dir1. You click on it and then just create a new dir1. And then new dir1, if you just say rename it and say Wahid directory 1. You could just whatever you want to do it. Now right click, say move it to trash, it's gone. So you could do file management on the command line as well here. And then if you want it under the test, you just say, okay, and just here, double click on it, and then under the test tree, let's say, I create a file. So I can say open terminal, and then here I'm on that directory, and let's say ls-l, or say ls-l user, the root partition, and I say ls-l greater sign and root and dot text or dot dir. So now I just created a file called root.dir, and then if I say root.dir, it is just the same thing as if I just did that ls-l /root. Okay, so at this time, if I just want to close this one, and now the root.dir is there, I open that same file here. And if I just don't need it, I say move it to trash, and that graphical interface allows you that. And then these are very easy. It's like Windows File Manager. So there's nothing that people could show you how to do it. Whatever the command that is there, for example, if I say open terminal, it just open terminal. And then if you just, or on that double clicking on this, you double click on it, it opens it. And if you just say, I could do something with it, copy it, and just copies it, and then paste it here. And you paste it, now it's a copy is made. And if you just say remove it to trash, it just removes it. And then move it to trash, delete it, and say, okay, go ahead, delete it. So there's a lot of these directories you can create and duplicate. And then that's what the file manager does. This is whatever the toolbox for music stuff, you could do it. The LibreOffice is very good. You could just open up LibreOffice for writing for a kind of a PowerPoint kind of presentation, and press they call it, or the Excel spreadsheet. You could do it, and then calculators and all the other things that Microsoft Word stuff that you could do with LibreOffice also as Word kind of tools. The Ubuntu software updates is there, so you can just see what is available for you under the Explorer. And then some of them with Ubuntu, you can use it with Snap, which are containerized, and some of them are RPMs kind of packages. that are all of them, or maybe through apt-get, apt cache. It's those ones are actually packages that are making the dependencies. So they are based on the repository. So if I just open a terminal here, if I just click on the terminal somewhere here, and then say apt list, then you see all the packages that are already installed here. And then at the same time, snap list, snap is the packages for example, Firefox. You can say snap list Firefox, then you could see that Firefox is installed. The snap info Firefox, and then you will get information about the package Firefox. Similarly, for example, if you say apt list GCC for a GCC compiler, or apt search GCC, or apt remove, or apt install. There's a lot of these options. With apt, you can say -- help, and it will give you all the list of options. And let's search, show, remove, and all of that. Similarly, like a snap -- help will give you all the options that you can do with snap. For example, you could do snap find, and then let's say Chromie. This is for Google Chrome. It will just tell you the package that is there for Google Chrome, or PyCharm or something, PyCharm community, everything. You can search them through this. So let me just, under the installed, you have seen what is already installed for you. And then on the update, if you just say update all, this is snapped in Core 20. So I'm gonna just say, go ahead, update all of them. You can do this and then type in the password. If you don't have the root password, then it's not gonna do it. But if you do have it, it will try to do that. Unable to install update. Snap has no update available. That's fine. You just click on this one, and then when this update all is gonna happen, if the package are there, you can do it that way, or you just right click here, say open terminal, and then do Control Shift plus to make the screen a little bit bigger. And then I'm gonna become root first. So I could do sudo su- like this and type in my password, because I'm on the switch user on the repository. There now I'm root, and then if I just say apt update, it will just go through the system and do all the updates that are there. So apt list list -- upgradable will show you what is available for upgradable, and then this is the list. So update will just actually go ahead and do that apt list -- upgradable. Okay, so now I'm gonna say apt upgrade, and then whatever is the latest version of these packages, I just will get all the packages up to date, and then say apt upgrade. Now it will say the system is already updated, new install 0 removed, and 7 not upgraded. The following update. Okay, so let's see if we do it now through the software update. There's some sort of lock that is happening here. So update snapped, update, enable update core packages. Yeah, it looks like, let me just see if what is running. Update, yeah, apt not notifier, update notifier. So that one is a process that is there. I'm gonna say kill -93601. Clear the screen. So now I say update. And so I'm gonna say apt clean apt update. 7 package can be upgraded. Run update list. I already run this one a few times to see what's available. So okay, I'm gonna do an exit out of this, and then at this time log out first. Make sure that there's no log on anything that is happening. I'm gonna say log out. And then power off. And then start it again. See if this time, excuse me. MDC slash release. So it's 22.04, 22.04.2. I think I have the latest one that is available. Maybe that's what. So switch user, switch use sudo apt update, and then I type in the password. Update. So update, and then remove and then clean. You see the clear command. Okay, so before we do any system update, we could just look at what we currently have, OS-release. It shows that we have Ubuntu 22.04.2, which is long-term support. When it says long-term support, it came out in 2022, and then basically it is for 5 years, a long-term support. It is under the support. So at this time, I'm going to become root first, sudo dash su dash. I'm going to show my user ID, id-un, and root now. I'm going to say apt update. So when you do apt update, it is going to check to see what is the system need to be updated, and it says apt list dash dash upgradable to show you what are part of the upgradable. You can also do a command like apt dash dash only upgrade, and then install, and then the name of the package, and the package would be one of the lists that you could do it. Or you could say apt upgrade, and then if there's any package that needs to be upgraded, it will do it, and the ones that are not upgradable, it will just not do it. So that is for your system to be maintained correctly. At this time, I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to exit out to see what other features we could show you. Also on the display here, you could just change the display setting to have a different resolution, the look and feel of it, the appearance. Like for example, if you want to have a different kind of dark scheme, you can do that one. And the network setting, if you want to just enable network setting, Bluetooth, background. So the background, you have a nice background. The current one is this. If I want to switch it to this, not this now, I have this background. And if I want to go to display setting again and look at the background images, and whichever one you like the most, which I like this one, this is the one that I clicked already. You can choose whichever one you want, that's up to you. And then let's change this one to this, see how it works on this one. And that's another one. I'm going to go back to the default one, which is this option that was here with the Jammy Jellyfish, and that is good enough. There's other options here that you can do, power and printers and everything, a user account and everything, colors and so on. You could name it. You could just control it here. These are the options here. What other on the list of the software that are already installed, you can have a list here on the graphical part, and you can open like a calendar. You just look at the calendar, and then document and terminals, opening at terminals. Under the utilities, you have these utilities. I'm not gonna go through each one of them, it will be forever, but these are all graphical interface, so you're welcome to play with them. You might have a better understanding than I do, but command line I could show you, because nobody memorized command lines as much as I do. The LibreOffice is the software that we just show you if you want to use LibreOffice, whether you want to use Microsoft Word version of it, or like Impress kind of version, and that is similar to PowerPoint, and you just do those ones. I'm not going to do this one because I have a nice Microsoft Office on stuff on the Windows, and I just make my presentation on those ones at this time. I have paid for the a 1-year subscription, and I want to take advantage of that one for 1 year and show you all that stuff in a nicer environment. So if you want to open calculator, you're just clicking here. So there's a lot of stuff here that you can just practice, but this is the GUI interface, as well as it has command line. And the command line, you just open it on the terminals here. And then if you want to open a X window, you just open X window here. You see that X window is black color by default. If you wanted the X term minus background of white, minus foreground of black, minus font face of say New York again, and then minus font size is 17, which is a good color, and I want to background it, you could just open it like that. And then if you just say, well, that font color, I want to change it to a different color, you could do the same thing that you did here. Xterm works the same way, whether you use it on Linux Ubuntu or Linux. So I'm going to do 00, and then let's do a 55, a little bit greenish kind of color on the background, and then the front is this. So if I want in the state of it, this one I'm gonna just make it a little bit darker green, like 20, and then this color I'm gonna say white, Now I can write white on that color. Okay, so I'm gonna exit out of this one also, and right here I'm going to log out of this one, say power off, and then log out first. So when you log out, then basically you're coming back to the interface. If you want to log in again, you just do it. Otherwise, you could power off the machine by clicking power off here, and the virtual machine will just terminate successfully. It says that it's power off. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it and you enjoyed it. And this is basically my YouTube channel, which is my Web University Free Education videos. I'm gonna post video number 3, which was on the topic of this video, this one, the GUI interface for Red Hat, Rocky Linux, and Ubuntu, just to recap what we covered. Have a nice one. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.